Hey everyone, it's Lisa Davis from Lisa Davis Body Construction. I'm still out of town. I'm in Missouri, and I still haven't found the so-called fitness center. Um, here's here's a map in case you want to see. The fitness center supposedly is up here at the entrance, but we're down here, and you have to drive down and around, and there's a golf course, and there's all sorts of places you're not supposed to even go. That's a bigger story we found out yesterday. But anyway, yeah, I've got plans today. So it takes time to walk up there, find it. What if it's not even good anyway? So I can do what I want to do today here on this patio. I'm glad that I brought my O-band. I'll link everything below. It's only a couple things. Anyway, I have this nice O-band that I can do some resistance training with. And I always bring my jump rope. So I'll be using those. And yesterday I bought a towel because I wanted one for here because the indoor towels I didn't dare bring out. And there's some weird bugs. I don't want to be on the ground with those. So I have this and I will show you my workout. I'll share that in the description box below as well. And let's get started.
As always, the first thing to do is warm up. And I almost always do jump rope unless I absolutely can't. And I might have mentioned before in the previous day's workout, if you saw that, this was a difficult spot. There's almost always somewhere that I can warm up. But this spot it was on steep terrain. The sidewalks outside were not level, so it would have been like jumping rope on kind of a steep grade. So this patio was a great spot. I had gone the day before out down on that golf course because I've worked out on golf courses many times and never had a problem. But these guys didn't want you on the golf courses. There were signs, and my sisters had gone for a walk and they got shooed away. So yeah, so this was a good place. I hope the people below weren't annoyed. If there was anyone below, I hope they weren't annoyed by the bouncing. So I usually jump rope for 10 to 15 minutes. In this case, it was around 10. And I just kind of get more and more intense as I go and try to get my heart rate up, try to get sweaty, and just get all the systems in my body going so that when I work my muscles, it won't be a shock. And if you've seen anything that I've posted, you know that I am very into jump rope. It's such a good cardio exercise. I used to be just a very avid runner. I still run once in a while, but for the most part, I can get a really great cardio workout with jump rope. So, I use the PVC rope that you see here. This is from Dope Ropes, and I'll link below. And I know that I am not like a jump rope pro. I've seen way, way more fancy jump ropers than I do. They can do way more tricks than I can do. They're probably younger and more motivated than I am to do all the tricks. I mostly just want to get my heart rate up and I want to have fun. So I like to do the intervals with them, which we're going to have in this workout. And I just think that this is great. I don't need to be doing like backflips while I'm doing them or any of that. So if this is the kind of thing you like, you're in the right place. Maybe you could do the same kind of stuff as I'm doing. I mentioned that I was a runner, and if you've been a runner, this is great because it has helped me so much with just the repetitive movements of running. As much as I enjoyed it, it's not as repetitive and doing the same exact motions all the time. So it helps with things like plantar fasciitis and things like that we might be suffering from as avid runners and long distance runners. But it's still engaging, fun, keeps the heart rate up, and then you can do muscle work between these intervals. As I mentioned, I start out pretty low level and then try to up the ante, so to speak, as I get warmer. So I try to get more involved, more intense, because I want to try to push my heart rate up. It's a challenge. I've mentioned in my other videos, it's a challenge for me to get my heart rate up. After my warm-up, I did a total of 14 exercises that I repeated 3 times, and I did them in sets of 3, except the last set is only 2. And the last thing's always jump rope, and I will describe those below. But the first thing I did was I put the O-bands around the arches of my feet. Then I rolled over onto my knees, and I just extend one leg, and I call these glute kickbacks. And they really get your glutes really well. These sets of bands, it comes in a little set with different amounts, and I'm using the extra heavy here. So if you didn't want to use the extra heavy, or if you wanted to double up some bands, you can do that. They come in a set. And again, I'll link those below as well. They're very inexpensive on Amazon. And I did 10 on each side. Sometimes I'll do more like 16 and really get a good burn. So feel free to do a few extras. And I'm bad at counting, so sometimes I accidentally do more than I planned on. So if you see that, don't be surprised. And when I'm doing this type of workout, I try to quickly go from one exercise to the next, because working hard, even though I'm not doing cardio at the moment, is my goal. I want to work hard. I want to keep my heart rate up. So I utilized this little bench here, and I went right into tricep dips. And I always try between 16 and 24. I've got my legs straight here, which makes it more intense than if my legs were bent. But we really want to feel that work. And then as quickly as I can, grab the jump rope, and I went right into this quick hit of 10 double unders and 10 running mans on each side. So a total of 20 running mans. And then I'm just going to start again with the glute kickbacks and repeat that set. And again, I tried to just go as quick as I can from thing to thing, from exercise to exercise. So I quickly grab my little towel, which I was using for a cushion, and go right into the next set. I'm going to go ahead and let this play through in real time in case anybody wants to do the exercise along with the video, but feel free to just skip ahead or check out the stuff in the description. I will list the workout there. But it's such a great overall total body workout with resistance and cardio. So I highly recommend it. But I'll play music. If you want to do it with me, we'll add that. Okay, here we are on our very last cardio part of this, the last jump rope, and we're getting ready for the next set. It's going to start out with rear lunge front kicks, and I'll show an insert with doing this without the bands, but if you can do it with it around your upper knee or lower thigh, it's going to give you more resistance, and it'll help you work your hip flexors a little bit more and up into your abs, the core. Now these bands do struggle to stay in place while you're doing this exercise. So you'll see me reach down and try to reposition the band lower because it just keeps wanting to slide up my thigh. I do have a kind of a band, and I can link that below as well, but it's not here. I didn't take it with me. But it is a type that stays down a little bit better. If I remember, I'll put that in the description below. But it's much bigger, more bulky, so I don't take it when I travel. But these are to work your quads and just, obviously lower body. And I mentioned that using that resistance helps use the hip flexors a little bit more. And for runners like me, we need that. We need some muscle strengthening for areas that kind of are important for muscle balance in runners. Next exercise, we'll also be using the bands and the upper body, and it's a version of an overhead press. And I show here that you're going to use one hand holding the band on the opposite shoulder, and then the one that's lifting, make sure you keep your wrist straight as you press upward. And I do a jack while I'm doing it because, of course, I want to make this be somewhat cardio, keep my heart rate from dropping too far. And I did 16 on each side here. But you really got to focus so that your wrist doesn't kink. Make sure your wrist stays pretty straight. You can also make the band shorter and more taut, or you can use two bands together like I mentioned before. But if you want to make it shorter, sometimes I wrap it around my hand, and there are some things I do later that show that. And it just shortens up the band a bit by wrapping it around my hand. And here I just show that we don't want to be going out to the side. Sometimes it helps to look in the mirror just to make sure you're going up. We're going right into our jump rope, a quick hit here with 10 on each side, Tick-Tocks, so a total of 20, and then 10 jacks with the jump rope. And if you're not really used to doing side-to-side motions with the jump rope, you can see I just missed, so it happens. It's something to learn. I think it's an important skill to learn. But yeah, quick hit with that. And then we're going right back to the rear lunge front kick. Just like before, I'm going to play music. You can let this play through if you want to do it with me, or you can skip ahead to the next set. Here's where I'm showing it wrap around my hand. It wraps all the way around my hand and therefore shortens it, makes it much more taut, more intense, as though I'm lifting heavier weight. Okay, that's the end of that set, and we're going to need the band again for the next set, and we're going to put the band around the ankles. But it's totally optional. You don't have to have it. It's just to add a little more resistance when we go into the X jump. So we're going to do 12 times through, but it's this pulse squat, 3 pulse squats, and come up into an X. And again, you can do it without the band if you don't want that extra resistance for the abductors of the hip. You can go as low as you want with the squat, but it's pretty much just a half squat. But get down there, sink your hips down, and then it's an explosive jump up into that X. And again, you want to use those arms, get them going out and up over the head for an explosive move. Okay, and then we're just going to do 8 push-ups. So probably want some sort of a cushion there. I'm going to do at least some of them on my knuckles. It gives a little more height so I can get a little more of almost a negative dip there, I guess, down towards the ground, because my arms are up higher and they're going to go behind the back. But I've always been pretty weak at push-ups, and this is no exception. So yeah, I wasn't too strong every time with those. Then, of course, we've got our jump rope. We're going to hit it hard again with 20 twists and then 20 butt kickers. So it's just going to be, 1 hamstring curl, line up both feet, do the other side until you've done 10 on each side. Now, I don't know if this is just because I'm getting old, but this was a pretty intense workout. I thought I got a great workout out of this. But if you need to push harder, please do. If you need to make it easier, make it easier. But we just really want to get our best workout. And just like before, we're going to be repeating this 2 more times. So, back to the bands. And remember, if you need more resistance, use 2 bands. Or, I'm using the extra heavy here, but I could probably have added the extra heavy with the light together and added more resistance. But I did feel this working. So make sure that you are feeling the work. That's how you're going to know that it's actually benefiting you. By now I was getting pretty darn sweaty, and I'm getting ready for the next set, and it's not going to require the band. And we're going to squat as deep as we can and just pop up. And I just call it a pop squat. And we're going to do 10 of those. We're going to squat as deeply as we can. So I really sit down, and you want to keep your heels on the floor. Some people end up rolling forward onto their toes, and we don't want that. Try to keep your heels down and sink your butt as far down as you can. And when you pop up, that's going to get a good contraction for your glutes. And then we are going to pick up the band. This is another one where you may need to wrap it around your hand if you want it shorter, or use more than one band. And we're going to do a lat pull down with a side lunge. And there's 16 on each of these. At least I did 16. You can do fewer or more if you want. But do make it really intense. You're trying to work those lats. So keep your elbow to the side rather than forward. Sometimes on this exercise, it can be a challenge to keep your arm that's up above, keep it straight, but we really want to do our best to do that. You can even lock the elbow there if you can. I always struggle with that, especially as you get tired. But if it bends too much, it's going to become too easy and too lax. And lats are pretty strong. As far as sizes of muscles in the body go, they're one of the larger ones, so they can maybe overpower the muscles in your arm that's overhead, trying to keep that position. But just do your best. Try to keep it straight so that you can get the work for those lats. Once this is done, we are going to be going back to the jump rope, but this time there are 4 different things that I did every time, and I think they're great ones. So we're going to do 20 knee lifts, so that'll be 10 on each side, and I just alternated. And then I did 20 side swings, alternating as well, so 10 on each side. Then I did I don't even know if this is the right name for it, but an EB jump. So it's like a side swing, but with your arm behind, and it goes behind, and you jump through it. And then I did a double under. So I did that, and that was just a quick hit again. And just like before, we're going to repeat these 2 more times, and just really try to work every part of your body really well. Focus hard, get some good music playing, all the stuff you need, and know that we're almost done. The last set's going to be abs, 1 ab exercise, and a jump rope exercise 3 times, so it's going to take a lot less time to do. So we're almost there. Like I said, we got our last thing, and it's just abs and then some jump rope repeated 3 times. So we're gonna do 30. I call them V knees because I didn't really know what else to call it. But you just kind of, if you can balance as much as you can on your butt, almost in a V shape there, but it's not a V up. And we're just gonna alternate pulling one leg at a time as close to your chest as you can until you've done 15 on each side, a total of 30. Except later I decided to do more, so I did more like 40. And then as quickly as we can, we're going to grab our jump rope, and I did 20 side swing openers. So side swing to open, so 10 on each side. And then, I don't know, I decided maybe I could do these backwards. And it wasn't that great because I don't do them backwards very often, if ever. So it's kind of new to me. So, you know, just try some of those if you want to. But I just did side open, jumping backwards. And on this round, I did 20 of my knee pulls, my V knee pulls. So do as many as you want, but I really wanted to feel it working hard, so I did more. This round I only did 34 or 35 of the V-knee pulls, but I was really feeling it work. And you can tell, I mean, it works your whole abdominal wall, but down into your hip flexors as well. So I was feeling it really well there. And again, make sure to really pull your thigh up as close to your chest as you can get it. You want to get a nice complete contraction, full range of motion. So by the time I was done with this, which here I am at the very end, it was about a half an hour, maybe just a little bit more. And I like to go an hour if I have time. So I did just do some freestyle jump rope after this and just got the rest of my cardio, but I got plenty of work for my muscles and I had a great workout. Okay, everybody. Again, completely drenched because it's August in Missouri. It's very humid and quite warm, but that's okay because I feel great and it's going to be an awesome day. You guys have a great day yourselves, and I'll see you again soon in the next one.